What's going on, guys? It's Vaughn here from Body Elements. I got my man Kiel Martin here. We're just going to go through today, try and get Kyle his first ring muscle up. We're going to go through a couple of exercises first because I think Kyle's pretty much got the strength to do a muscle up. Probably got about 10 straight pull-ups, maybe more. So we're just going to refine the technique and see if we can get him his first ring muscle up. So the first thing we're going to do, Kyle, is we're going to go through a assisted ring muscle up. So you're going to start with the false grip. You're grabbing them by the far side, turning rings in towards each other, almost giving yourself knuckles. Here, you've got your false grip and you're going to let yourself come down into a fully extended position here. You've got to pull your shoulder blades back, row up to the top. You're going to break at the hips and your shoulders are going to come through. Now these rings are a little bit high for me, but they'll be perfect height for you just to do that exercise. So that's it, nice false grip, row into it, break at the hips. That's it, shoulders through. That's it. Oh, nice. So it looks like you've pretty much got the strength there, and we're just going to practice that technique a couple more times. We'll give that another go for maybe like 2 or 3 more reps, just to make sure we've got what it takes. Roll in. Oh, nice. And then the other thing we're going to try is we're just going to go with a feet assisted muscle up now. Now from here we're just going to start with bent legs. We're going to pull up, take as much weight off legs as you can possible. You're going to pull up to about the midpoint of your sternum. And from here you're going to throw the rings underneath your armpits. You don't have to do the full dip, we'll save your energy for the muscle ups. So we'll just stop at the top of the transition and we'll come back down. So again, just using the legs to support, rings up to chest, middle of the sternum, shoulders through, come back down. So we'll give that a go. If those rings are too low, we can put them up a little bit. All right, so on this one, I'm gonna come back down again. It just looks like you lost your false grip a little bit there. So bring those hands over so much, yeah, that you're really giving yourself knuckles there, and you wanna hold that. That's it, yeah, nice, that's way better. Alright, now that we've gone through the technique, seems Kyle's pretty much got the strength to do this. We're going to have a go on the big rings now. We just adjusted the height for Kyle. I'm going to jump up and demonstrate a couple, not just for Kyle but for the people watching. So exactly what I was going through before. What you're doing, you've got the false grip. You're going to pull down to a point where you're almost at the midpoint of your sternum with the rings. Come through, rings underneath the armpits, and you're just pushing up into the dip. Same thing on the way down. So it's a bit high for me, but assuming the false grip, we've grabbed them on the far side, almost giving yourself knuckles. You're now going to go into a dead hang, rings turned out. This is where you would start a regular muscle up. Pull in, pull up, you're at your midpoint, shoulders come through, transition, dip. And we're going to turn the rings out again to lock out at the top, complete the rep. Come down, locking out at the bottom, up, through, lock out the top, coming down, locking out at the bottom. Jeez. So I might have made that look a bit easier, but I've obviously practiced this a heap. We'll get Kyle to get into his false grip. Awesome. Hang off that into a dead. Pulling up to your sternum. All right, so come down for us. The thing we're missing here is you've lost the false grip pretty much as soon as you go to pull up. So we'll go again. And what I want you to do here is I just want you to hang off the rings and hold the false grip. We won't worry about the muscle up just yet. So hold that false grip and hang off. See if you can extend your arms, holding that false grip. So you can see you're starting to lose it a little bit. We'll come out of it. Obviously you start to lose that false grip. If you haven't, Kyle hasn't actually practiced much of the false grip before, so this is new to him and it'll be new to anyone trying to do a muscle up. Once you lose that false grip, what happens is if you come into a regular pull-up, you're going to pull and you're not going to be able to get these rings through the proper range of motion to get them underneath your shoulders. If you've got this false grip, what happens is when you come up to here, you come up to that midpoint of your chest, your shoulders open the range and your hands don't have to travel from top to bottom. They're staying in the same position. So they stay here, they're still in the same position when you're dipping. So you can start with a bent arm, as long as you can hold the false grip, and then we'll pull into it, yeah?
Yeah.
So now have a go, pull up. Come down. So it looks like we've lost the false grip again. You're probably getting a bit fatigued now too.
Yeah.
So what I can notice is when you're coming from here, you've got your false grip and you come off and your fingers slide away into that regular grip. And then as soon as you do that, as I mentioned earlier, if you come up into this, it's going to be very hard to get that transition.
Oh yeah.
So if we hold this false grip as much as possible, the very foreign false grip, not easy, very forearm intensive, hold that, pull as quick as possible. Because, yeah, let's do this. Let's go, baby. False grip, hold, really pull this. Yep, just pull. No. It seems like like what's happening is the longer you're hanging there, the quicker your false grip's loosening.
Yeah.
So I think the shorter amount of time we hold this false grip for, the more beneficial it's going to be for you.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is as soon as you come off that box, I want you to pull.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to lose that false grip at all. And I want you to remember pulling as high as possible before you transition. High as possible, rings under.
Yeah.
So we'll have one more go. If we can't pull it now, we'll have a little rest and then we'll go again. Whew. So I think we're close.
Progress.
Now, obviously you can see Kyle's got the biggest arms in Australia, and the reason he got up there is because he's extremely strong. So when we watch this video back, we'll see that Kyle muscled his way from here through there and really gave it the name, the muscle up. We can clean that muscle up a little. We can clean the muscle up a little bit because I think Kyle, once he pulled through, he might have chicken winged one of his arms under. But the important thing is we got it.
Yeah, that's all that matters, baby.
And we're up.
Let's go.
But we can definitely clean it up. Alright, so we've had a little break. We've lost the camera, but we're still going, and Kyle's going to clean these muscle ups. Clean these muscle ups up. So let's go. We're going to hold that false grip. Pull that false grip in a little bit more. Get a bit more false in there. Giving yourself knuckles, that's it. And you want to hold that now. So we're going to come with pull, up as high as possible, through. Oh, so close.
Go, baby.
On that false grip, knuckles.
And number peanut. Oh, fuck.
So close.
Am I not pulling up high enough? Or am I
think
pulling up high enough?
What's happening is you're going a bit too wide and you're still, as annoying as it sounds, losing the false grip. So I think what's happening is you're pulling wide and you're coming about here.
Yeah.
And what you're going to have to do here is either bring a shoulder in and then the other shoulder.
Yeah.
Which is not what we want. It's a good way to just get up, if that's how you're getting up.
Yeah.
But we don't want to keep maintaining that because that's how we get injuries. So we really want to, easier said than done, hold the false grip, pull up middle, you're at the middle now,
Yeah.
and you come through with your chest. Keeping those rings close together, hands close together, rings close together, rings close to the body, up as high as possible, transition. That's it.
Fucking false grip's gonna keep me up at night.
Don't worry about dipping yet. Dipping seems like it's going to be the easy bit for you.
Yeah.
So just worry about getting up into that transition spot. Way better, mate. Way fucking better. Awesome. Yeah, baby, let's go. That was so much cleaner, and I think once we see it on video, we're going to see that so much cleaner. So where Kyle's at, he's obviously completed his muscle ups. He's really blown it out of the water actually for his first time. The thing Kyle's probably missing out of his training in terms of carrying over from strength to body weight, or the bodybuilding to body weight, is the false grip, as we mentioned earlier. The false grip, which is more of a forearm pump, getting used to the position. So I think a good exercise to train that is obviously, as simple as it is, just practicing false grip pull-ups. So you can do false grip pull-ups regularly, or you can do false grip pull-ups weighted. once you start doing like weighted false grip pull-ups, you're really going to build that exposure to throw yourself up, and that's when you start upping the reps for your muscle ups, if you want to use it for your training, of course. Kyle seems strong enough through his pushing, so I wouldn't recommend doing anything more than what you're doing now with your pushing. And then the other thing he'll probably need to train is the transition. So he can either practice, keep doing the muscle ups and just train the transition that way, or we can do what we were doing earlier with the assisted muscle ups. So when he had his feet on the ground, pulling up, and you're just training that transition phase. As Kyle was mentioning earlier, that he actually uses wrist wraps for a lot of his heavy lifts, which might affect the way his false grip's holding because of just wrist and forearm strength in general. So that's another thing, like maybe practice a couple more times of the week where you're not using wrist wraps if you can, obviously. Kyle's training for a bodybuilding competition soon, so muscle ups.
in 17 weeks.
Check him out on Instagram. I'll put his link in there. But obviously muscle ups might not be the most effective exercise for bodybuilding, although it's a fun thing to do, and if you're, it's good to change up your training and get a little bit of different exercise in there just to keep it a bit more interesting.
Good party trick at the gym.
Good party trick. Other than that, I think that pretty much wraps up this video. It's awesome to have you, man. Appreciate coming down.
All good.
And we'll get this up again, and we'll get it going. Thanks, guys.